Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good
Please
morning,
have a
ma'am.
seat.
Thanks.
This is Aarzoo.
Yes, sir.
What does it mean, Aarzoo?
So, Aarzoo is a word that is of Urdu and Persian origin, and it literally means desire and wish.
Desire and wish. So, what is that? So, can we interpret it was the earnest wish of your parents to have a lovely daughter?
So that's actually the real reason.
That's a real reason.
Yeah.
Um, I'm reading that I'm very pleasantly surprised to see Stoicism here. Have you read Marcus Aurelius?
Excuse me.
Marcus Aurelius.
No.
No. Any other Stoic philosophers that you have read?
So I know about few people, but I never got the chance to actually read in detail about them.
What is the basic philosophy behind Stoicism?
Stoicism, so actually the modern philosophy is varies very differently from the ancient philosophy that is in our actually um, Vedic scriptures. In actually Stoicism is very misunderstood in modern times. In original, it was a way to understand your emotions and control them so they don't hamper your judgment towards something. But nowadays, it is misrepresented as having no emotions at all, which is completely incorrect.
Okay. What is the difference between, I'm asking because you have a Vedic or interest in Veda. What is the difference between Vedic knowledge and Vedantic knowledge? Any idea?
Vedic knowledge and
Vedantic.
Vedantic knowledge, the difference. So I'm not sure.
Not sure. Do you know where Upanishads, what the relationship between Vedas and Upanishads?
Yes, so we have four ancient Veds. There was Yajurved, Samved, Rigved, Atharved, and there are Upanishads. But they are somewhat similar, but the exact difference between them is I'm not sure exact difference.
Do you know how many Upanishads are there?
No, sir, I'm not sure.
No. Okay. Um, so, quite a few things here. Tell us, why don't you walk through your resume?
Why did I?
Why don't you walk through through your resume?
Okay, sir.
Who is Aarzoo?
So, Aarzoo is a person who is currently studying in class 12, pursuing science stream with physics, chemistry, and math as subjects, and have an inner desire to pursue something that allows her to learn multiple things and don't just put her in a box that creates boundary that you can learn this and not that. IPM is a course that allows me to do that, and hence the reason of my interest into it. Also, I have a desire to do something in my life that leaves somewhat of a mark. I'm not interested in being a legend or anything, but if my life ends without anything worthwhile that can be remembered, then I'll be not glad with it.
Okay. What is that skill or one skill that business schools, love to see in the person?
That business schools would love to see in a person. So I would say the one skill that would is very valuable would be ability to understand things from others' point of view, because it creates lack of communication because everybody understands things from their point of view but fails to understand what other person is saying, especially when they are not really good in expressing themselves. So it becomes a very important thing to listen well and understand what they are saying by not just their words, by their body language and what they are conveying. So that's a very important skill.
Think about a friend of yours who is no longer your friend, who hates you, and if I ask him or her to cite three strengths of Aarzoo, what do you think he or she would list?
So I know it sounds odd, but I don't really have a friend that I hate because I always was very selective of people I let in my life. But if I have to pick one person, okay, there was
Someone who's jealous of you or
school rivalry. Yeah, that's okay. That person would say my biggest strength is I speak my mind whenever it's needed, but can hold myself back when I know, okay, this is not a place to speak. Second, he would say my biggest strength is um, I'm not afraid of doing something that I really like. Like lots of people hold themselves back because they are afraid that they will fail. I'm okay because your teenage is not the age to get into your comfort zone. You have to take risk. Everybody did, no matter whether they pay off or not. They will pay off at some point. So that's my biggest second strength. And the last but not the least is I'm loyal with people I care about, my friends and families. I don't really call anyone my friend, like any general person. But if I call someone a friend, I will remember them for my entire life. I remember my friend that I have in nursery to right now.
What is that that you are proud of the most in your life, and why?
Okay, so biggest thing that I'm proud of is not giving into social pressure to be like a certain person, especially in your teenage. You're expected to behave in a certain way, and if you don't fill that criteria, you are uncool or you're not good enough. Like, I never use any social media. I'm not really proud of it, but it was just like I thought it's not for me. Like Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat. Not I'm currently not had a profile on it like ever. Not in my preteens, not now. So I face a lot of pressure. Like, why are you not on social media? You think you're too good for it or something like that? I said no. I think it's not a time for me. And as I said, I already have very selective people in my life. I can connect through them through WhatsApp. So there is no need. So I don't do that. And I'm really proud of. I did things that I really liked and never confirmed to some people without any reason. Like, they didn't have any good reason for me to join there. So I stick with what I was, whatever kind of.
Well, that brings me to an adjacent or ancillary question. Is it justified to be proud of something that you have not created, you have not achieved, you have not accomplished?
Being proud of something you haven't
You haven't done anything about, yet being proud of it. Is it fair, justified?
So I think I can try to give it with an example. When my team India wins, I feel proud of it. When my country achieves something, I feel proud of it. Now, I'm not directly involved with it. I didn't contribute to it, but I still feel proud. And I think it is justified because it's my country. I don't care whether I was directly there or not, whether I was a part of a team, whether I played in field or not. It's my country that did something, and I am proud of it, and it justifies because it shows my patriotism towards my country and my love. So it's justified.
Another connected question that I'm keen about is self-esteem. We always hear a lot, man, have your self-esteem. Is it really a good thing to have self-esteem? Does it do you any good, or could also do harm?
So I believe there is a very fine line between self-esteem and being, ego and having an attitude. And lots of people sometimes confuse it between a person. So I'll tell you one thing. I've read a story about one actor. We used to be very proud of himself. Like, lots of actors are like, when the movie's done well, they'll go and say, thank you for watching my movie. Thank you, it's success for you. So people say, okay, he's a good person, he's humble. Now, on the other hand, there's an actor. Why I should thank them? I did my work. I poured my 100% into acting. They came, they paid, and they got what they came for. There's nothing I should thank them about. I'm going to thank the people who supported me enough that I'm here and doing the work I really like. But I'm not going to thank them. And I think this is self-esteem. Like, because when you're thanking them, it seems like they're doing you a favor by coming seeing your movie. And that actor has his opinion that it's a mutual thing. You're paying me, I'm giving you the experience. So it's a mutual thing. So lots of people consider him ego, but I think he just has self-esteem.
Okay. Just an extension of it. If, say, mothers are always like, Mera Raja Beta, right? And all mothers have Raja Betas. And these Raja Betas, when they come out of home, nobody calls them Raja Beta. Then they are shocked. So far they were pampered, they were Raja Beta, and no longer, not anymore. Now, is it going to have an adverse impact on them or a positive impact, or a kind of conflict or a kind of a sense of loss that they have? What do you think?
So I think as a kid, obviously you need someone who always trusts on you and believes on you when no one else did. And mother is one such person, because you think you're worthless, but your mother will never think you're worthless. So we need that one person in life, but you shouldn't keep that person in a bubble that everyone is going to be like that with you. You should show him love, but know that it is not for granted. I'm showing you this, others will not, and you will have to prove your worth. He should be made aware of that. Shouldn't be kept in the bubble that everyone will be like this to you. I think a good balance between mother and father can help that sort out. Mother can show support, and father can show him the like reality check. Okay, okay, it's fine, but don't do this again and something. So create a balance between it.
Great, thank you. How would you explain GDP to a 10-year-old kid?
GDP, okay. To a 10-year-old kid, that would be my brother.
Okay.
So how would I explain GDP to him? I'll say whatever you buy, no matter how small or big it is, it has impact on country's GDP. And the better the GDP, the better the global reputation of your country will be. Like good GDP is a good thing to have. Also, the value of your currency will have a good impact on GDP. I mean, what's conversion between currencies, because you can have a lot of money, but if the conversion between, like say with respect to dollar, it's
Exchange rate.
yeah, exchange rate, so it will have a effect on that. Also your population matters a lot. You can have a decent income, but if the population is far the mark, then it will take a, there are lots of factors that.
But my question was, what is GDP actually? It is good to have, I mean, it will impact, but what exactly it is?
It's the, so I'm not sure, but I will try my best.
Okay, yeah.
It's the income of the entire nation divided by its population.
No. What is the full form of this acronym?
GDP means
Gross domestic GDP. Price? No. Gross domestic
Product.
product, right, product.
So it's actually the value of the goods produced within an economy in a specified financial year. That is the total value of it, right? So that's it. Are you familiar with the stock market?
Not really so. I'm interested to learn it. Like it's my goal.
Okay. So, Aarzoo, according to you, which profession do you consider to receive highest salary?
Which profession should receive highest salary? So I would say it should be doctors without any.
Why so?
So because in order to be a doctor, first you have to spend like good chunks of your year. You have to spend your entire youth into it, and there is no end to it. Like you cleared UPSC, you got through the main thing. Now you can serve your country. In doctor, you'll have to be responsible. You have to prove yourself again and again because new challenges will come across you. And in the pandemic, we saw what kind of challenges they have to face, and they spend so much of time. If there's emergency in night, they'll have to be there. And often one thing is that other profession gets the recognition, and doctors are supposed to be be that way. They are not really acknowledged that much. Like if doctor takes a fees, he said okay, he's taking money, so what? Of course he's gonna take money. He poured his experience there. He's treating you. Like if you go to a lawyer, you'll ask one thing, like to or a CA, you will ask him to pay you for the service. But doctors are like, they kind of have surreal expectations from them. If they're not grateful, the people, they think this is their job to do. No, it's not. They can very much leave the country and settle somewhere else. And the least thing you can do is to have gratitude towards them. Yeah, that, and money is one of the things you can offer them.
Okay. So, don't you think so? Mothers should receive highest salary.
Ma'am, I would.
She act as a doctor. She act as everything. Like she does everything for you. So, don't you think so that she should receive highest salary?
Ma'am, I would have said mother, but I think it would be a little disrespectful to, um, compare what mother does to you with money, because it's not
It's not about money. It's about love, care,
love,
respect.
care, absolutely.
It's not about the cash you give. Okay. Okay. Apart from this, if you are given three resistors, like 3 ohm, 4 ohm, and 5 ohm, okay, and you have to maximize the resistance. So how would you connect the three resistors?
In series.
Okay. So tell me the total resistance.
3 and 4 and 5,
Exactly.
it will be 12 ohm.
What are noble gases?
Noble gases are the gases that don't really react with other elements.
Okay. Example?
Neon, argon, krypton, xenon.
Fine. What are van der Waals forces?
So wonderful forces are weak force in nature compared to other forces. They are intermolecular forces and way weaker than ionic forces.
Okay, fine. So that's all from my side.
So Aarzoo, just tell me three reasons why you should be selected. Three biggest reasons.
Okay, so first reason and the biggest reason would be lots of people assume that once you clear the interview and once you get into the institute, that's it. But I know the real journey will begin from there. Getting into IIM is just the beginning. The real work and effort would need to be put there. You will need the 5 years will be challenging. Will need a lot of hard work, but I'm ready to put in. From the very second I get into it, if I get the opportunity to, I know I will need to work off to justify my selection, and I'll be ready to. The second reason that I should be selected is because lots of people take IM and they have lots of things in their mind, but I believe I have spent my teenage years very wisely, at least comparatively. So I have a better idea of what I would like to do there, so I would not waste any time and will get right through it. I know why I'm choosing IM and what it has to offer. Third is my opportunistic nature. Like if any opportunity is given to me and I let it slide, it's like a sin to me. Opportunities are supposed to be grasped and not wasted, and I'll be really doing my best to take every opportunity that is thrown my way and taking out the best of what IIM have to offer to me and then giving back to it, to my institution in some way. That's the reasons.
Okay. That's it from my side.
Yeah. Okay. So I understand that you did not mean opportunistic but ambitious.
Ambitious.
Yeah. Because opportunities has a negative.
Yeah, the negative connotation.
Right? Okay, I'm just, before we conclude, the last question is, if I have to reject you, give me two good reasons, solid reasons.
So first reason would be, okay, reject me. Okay, why should he reject? Okay. So first reason would be if you find a better candidate than me. If you find people who are better than me in some way, then they deserve that spot more than me. So you can reject me for that. As for second, I don't think there's any other reason that other than that. If you just find better candidate than me, then that is the reason.
Okay, good. So last question, if you have anything else to add before we conclude, or if you have any questions for any of us, go ahead.
So I have a question that what are the mistakes that lots of people in my age group do and that I can look forward to not repeat? Like lots of people in my age have something common mistake that they all do.
Common mistakes where?
In beginning of their college life or lot.
Okay. It's a very, actually very interesting question because when I teach at a university, irrespective of whatever I teach, whether it's, currently I'm teaching political science, I used to teach business management, and prior to that international relations. Regardless, first semester, first few classes, I talk about one thing, which comes essentially from Upanishad as well as, and that is the understanding of self. Most people don't understand that. And it sounds very philosophic. And when you read philosophy, people think it's a fluffy thing. Who am I? What is life? No. It's very much solid and concrete. If you think about the first series of philosophers, they were all scientists. Pythagoras.
Of course,
Pythagoras is not a scientist.
he was a
He is not as
philosopher. Yes, sir.
Huh?
Aristotle, we know him as philosopher, but he was a biologist. Some of the dissections are still relevant.
Yeah, buoyancy was he
Yeah.
would work.
So you can see, you cannot be a scientist unless you are a philosopher or a philosophic mind. You cannot be a philosopher if you don't have a scientific temperament. People don't realize that. most of the problems, conflicts at the later stage emanate from this very fact. We don't understand what exactly is my aspiration. And they connected with, I think that could be one of the questions. Going to IIM or going to management is for what? Money, career, success, everything. Once you have IIM, like IIT person does not need any resume, you know that. It's the only pre-approved degree in the world. If you say your name and IIT, that's it. Nobody asks it. Whereas other people, they would say like, I've done this, I've done this. So that's the power of it. Ultimately, you become in that, you get into the rut and never come out of it. Life and job, career, this is one tiny part of your life. But you realize most of the people, that has become the center part. Life is gone. So if you can work on it, self-awareness, and why you are doing what you are doing, I think you are much better. Because the point is, happiness is, as they say, is not a pursuit. It's a way of living. You have to be every day happy. Then it doesn't matter what you do. But if you are aiming at happiness, it would never be.
Yeah, like there will be a time when I will get the happiness. No, it's not.
There's a book called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. If one book you have to read in life, it's only that. It's just that.
I'll definitely.
That says happiness or life is like, you should not pursue, but it should ensue. It's like a butterfly. You go in the garden with a net, you would never be able to catch butterfly. What you need to do is sit on the bench, the butterfly will come and sit on you, doing the practice, right? And that is what people don't realize. I can vouch for it, I can attest it, because that's what I've done all my life. I come from arts background, purely arts, English literature. And then I moved to public policy, international relations, then MBA, then law, and all that. On the job, opportunities just kept coming. Then I realized it is possible. So if you can think about it, probably it would be, useful. Okay. Thanks a lot. It was nice.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for your time.